Okay, so now what I'd like to do is multiply Fibonacci codings. And so here are two codings of numbers. The top one here is 13 plus 5 plus 2, or 20. And the bottom one is 8 plus 2, or 10. And so what I'd like to do is multiply 20 by 10, and we know that's going to give us 200. But what I'd like to demonstrate is how to do it using Fibonacci calculations that we just figured out, multiplying Fibonacci numbers. And so what it means is I'm going to have to multiply this 2 times the 2 here, the 2 times this 5, the 2 times the 13, and similarly the 2 times that 8, etc. And so I'm going to end up having how many rows? 2 rows times 3 rows. And so let's see what we can do. Okay, so I know how to multiply by 2's. And so 2 squared gives me this pattern here. And so this 2 times this 2 gives me that row. This 2 times this row, well, as I showed you last time, it shifts up 2. Okay? And so there's my next pattern. Now I'm saying this 2 times this 13. It's going to shift up 2 more. And there we go. And so if you're at all worried about this calculation when I add it up, you can say, well, did it work? Is the 2 times the 5 equal to this? And that is correct. 2 and 8, 10. Just as 2 times 13 is 26, or 21 plus 5. Now, I have to multiply this 2 times that 8, and so that is kind of 2 shifted up, 2 squared shifted up 3 times, and so that looks like this. Okay, so these two are now taken care of completely. So now I'm going to multiply 5 by this one. And so I have to know what 5 squared is, and it turns out 5 squared is just like 2 squared, except it's there. And so there is 5 squared, but I don't want 5 squared. I want 5 times 8, and so I shift it up 1. And now the 5 is done. Now I need to multiply the 8, and so 8 is a little bit different. It works like this. 8 squared looks like this. 8, skip 3, and skip 3. And then it's not 8 times 8, but 8 times 13, and so I shift them all up 1. Okay, so now I have the laborious tasks of adding up all of these 6 rows. Now, notice that there's one down here. If I want, I could just shift it up there because it's the same one. So if you wanted to say strictly these have to be Fibonacci codings, that's one thing you can do. Anyway, so let's start. I'm going to add up on this row here. Can I see that row? Maybe I'll just put it right here. And maybe I'll do it in white. I better stick with black, huh? Okay, so I'm just going to put the first row down, like so. Okay, so I'm just copying this row, and so in some ways I've done with that one there, so I'll put that 0 there. Now I want to add the next row in, kaboom, 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 and so I've just done that row, but now it's not quite a Fibonacci number, so I shift up, jump, 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 and jump. Okay, so everything's gone except the 1. And so now those 2 rows are added up, and so now I'm on to this row. This row does nothing. It's still a good Fibonacci number, and so I'm on to the next row. And so here I have to do a little bit more calculations. When I plop them down, that jumps over there, and I plop this one down. And this one jumps that one. Okay, so on to the next row. This one makes it a little bit more complex because I put 1 here and 1 here. And so this 2 means I shift 1 up and 2 down, and then I hop that one there. Okay, and so now on to my last calculation here, which is adding this or that. And so, what do I have? This jumps here, 1, takes that one away. This one jumps here, I take that one away, and finally this one jumps here and takes that one away. And so that's final row is done, and so we look at it and we say it's 144 plus 55 plus 1, or 199 plus 1, 200. And so there we have how to multiply using Fibonacci codings. I hope you enjoyed it. It is a little bit complicated, so you may have to view this a number of times. Cheers.